There's a reason why a lot of artists do not survive the stage of touring in a van.
We've been driving for 15 minutes, and I managed to crash the van into this snowdrift over here.
It's very thankless. It's very exhausting. It's crushing a lot of the time. And it really made us appreciate all of the tiny victories along the way and all of the little victories that we continue to enjoy.
Okay, so we managed to get the van towed out of the snow. Several minutes later, we got hit by an asteroid.
I think back to that time, or those years of living like that. If I'm having a hard day on tour now, I still step out on stage and I think, even if I'm having a bad day, I get to go to work today, and what I get to do is to go out and make music. And I think, fuck, what could be better than that?
I guess this is the prairies.
There's
right
that tree.
There's the lone tree right there.
Canada, don't bring your Bermuda shorts. It's always good to be back on the road in Canada. It's home, right? We're very comfortable with all the cities, all the venues. We know a lot about this country, and I'm very grateful to our Canadian fans.
I always felt that song didn't have enough mohawk in the delivery.
Something about playing Canada. We've driven across this country dozens of times in vans and in tour buses and flown into all these cities to play shows, but it still feels so special to do a Canadian tour, our home country, and to see these fans who have been supporting us since Fix Me, some of them, driving across the country in a tour bus is so cool. And I'm telling you, in winter, it's a whole different kind of cool, and I actually mean cold. When it's cold there and the snow is on the road and you're like, are we going to make it to the next show? That's a weird feeling, but we did. We made it to all the shows.
There was a lot of nostalgia touring Canada, but there's so many cool places to play. We played some new venues. Whenever you throw in some new venues, it just adds just a little bit of spice. So it was just very fresh. It hits your senses a little bit more, like everything has a little bit more energy to it. And we did some, like when we started in Halifax, it was cool because it was a smaller room, but then we played 2 shows. So it was just really fun to start off with a back-to-back.
Almost every single venue, if not all of them, was a city we've played where I've got like these distinct memories from the very beginning. Like in Halifax, I remember playing a little club called The Pavilion that may not be there now, and it was small, but it was jammed and you could feel the buzz. And in Toronto, playing the tiniest room called Cameron House, which I think the capacity was 50, including the band. It was so small, and then you're playing History, and you're playing 2 nights in Halifax that are both sold out. And Vancouver, gosh, we've played our hometown so many times before we were even putting out music. It's so neat to go back to all these places where you really remember starting step by step, playing 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, 100. And I remember thinking at 300 or 400 people, I'm like, man, we've made it, and you just keep going though. And our fans keep telling new fans about the band and, or new people who become fans. But it's a real nostalgic experience. I'm not necessarily a person who spends a lot of time looking back in the past, but doing a tour like this reminds me of the history of the band and all that we've accomplished and how hard we've worked and how loyal our fans are.
We had such wonderful opening acts on both the Canadian and the US tour, just very complimentary. It's really awesome to go out to a crowd that has been pumped up and are excited about what they've seen and even more excited about what's to come. The crew, gosh, it's so nice to be back together with all of those people. We have the hardest working individuals that they really bend over backwards to make sure that our lives are as easy as they can be, that our business is run as efficiently as it can be, and that our fans get the best experience that they can. Our crew are responsible for all of that stuff, and I think they nail it night after night.
Get you on your knees. When the day's gone, we hold on to the nights like these.
I remember some of the faces from before Fix Me came out. We had a song, not really on the radio, but playing a little bit of Much Music called Say Anything. And man, some of those fans that were coming out at the very beginning are still coming to shows now, and we recognize them, and they are literally the reason we are still here today. You kind of never take the audience for granted because you remember making that relationship with every single person that's there, whether it was one-on-one or at a different show. We have so many loyal fans. It's just, it's such a blessing.
Trenchers, thank you for being there for us time and time again. You have proven your loyalty. We love you. Every time I step on stage, I look out and I just see so many smiling faces, and that energy just soaks right into me and brings me so much joy and gratitude. I don't know where we'd be without you guys, probably in a dumpster. And I just really appreciate everybody's patience over the last couple of years. Thanks for embracing the new record. Thanks for embracing us. And we look forward to putting some more smiles on faces as soon as we can.
To the air we breathe, to the good fight, to the good life, to the nights like these.
I think one thing that got us through that time was the four of us were doing it together. I really feel like it's probably more difficult for solo artists at that time. But we had each other, and we had a very healthy sense of humor about the situation most of the time. And we sort of almost delighted in the misery of it. You do that as long as it takes. And I would have done, if we had still never found success, I would still believe in the project, and I would still be doing that life to this day. I wouldn't have given up, and I would have just kept fighting and kept fighting. Now that we get to tour with crew who are there to help, and tour buses where we can sleep while we travel, and playing shows where people actually come and know the songs, I feel so grateful to have reached that point. And it's a huge reason why I would never take that for granted, because I know exactly all of the steps that it took to get to that.